Hey kids, it's Friday. I'm gonna help you 8th graders learn a little bit about logging. I hear Mrs. St. Pierre is teaching you guys a main studies class, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of some main industry. I'm gonna try to keep this not too long. We'll get a little shot of Wes here. He's right up close to the yard with the forwarder. He's loading up some, I'm not sure what he's loading up. That's the processor. This machine right here processes all the wood. Those feed wheels turn around forward and reverse, and those arms hold the tree up in the head. And those arms on top and bottom, if you notice, they're knives. So these, and then the top knife there, when the feed wheels pull the tree through the head, it strips all the branches off. This is a measuring wheel. This has an electric encoder on the inside that when that wheel's turning, it's measuring, and it goes to a computer inside the cab. So this machine goes around the woods and turns trees into specific lengths, whether it's pulp, logs, and then whether it's pulp or logs, and that is dependent on the species. And what we'll do next is I'll show you the fellow buncher, and this fellow buncher is what cuts the trees down and lays them on the ground. So I just got done with it, laying some wood down. So this is the fellow buncher. That's an 822 tire cap. It weighs about 70,000 pounds. It's got a, you'll see that blade right there. You never want to get close to one of those if you're ever around one. That blade is about 900 pounds, and it spins continuously all the time. And then the arms up top grab the tree, and then the arms below are accumulators. So you open those up and grab again, then you can cut another one. So that lays the wood down for the processor, and these are the finished products. This is firewood. Up there, Mark's loading, he's loading hardwood pulp. This is fir logs. This is probably in the very houses you live in. This is turned into dimensional lumber, and it's probably part of the frame of your house. So it starts here. These are mat logs, and those make swamp mats. If you ever seen equipment working on a power line or a project where it's wet and they need to stay afloat, these build 16-foot mats that you can run equipment on. We'll go up here. Those are grade logs. You might make hardwood flooring out of it, or cabinets or furniture. This is all the bigger rock maple, white birch. There's yellow birch. And then right there, those are pallet logs. And pallet logs, they saw into lumber and make pallets to ship stuff on. A lot of the things you get come shipped on pallets. And this is Mark loading the hardwood pulp, and that is a center mount loader, so it loads 2 tiers of roughly 18-foot wood. And that gets hauled to a chip plant that debarks it, chips it, and then hauls it to a paper mill, and they might make the very paper that you're working on in class, and might make packaging paper, cardboard, stuff that you buy off Amazon and stuff like that. So as far as, you know, when you're setting up a yard, like right here, this was all if you guys can see down there where that pickup's parked, this is what all of this looked like. So part of making a decision with how you're going to set up a yard is what you have to work with. So, and part of that too is we need enough room to pile all the different sorts, and the truck also has to be able to get around here. And so we don't have a turnaround here. The truck's turning around up the road and then backing down in. But we need space to have all the different sorts. Each one of these sorts is different. And then the other consideration to take into this is aesthetics and what the landowner wants. I don't own this land. We're providing a service for a landowner. And so what I like to do is leave a few of these nice trees and space them out. You kind of see so it looks decent. And when I'm gone or when I leave, I want to have this look good. So that's a big consideration into how we set up a yard. Sometimes every piece of property is different. And then I'll talk a little bit about, I think Miss St. Pierre or Mrs. St. Pierre asked me about how do you decide what you're going to cut for trees. Well, every landowner is different, and every piece of land is different. It's going to have different species, different types of wood, different ground. It's been cut or not been cut. So every time you go to a new job, you have a little bit something else different to work with, and it depends on the landowner's objectives. And what I mean by objectives is what are their goals, and so a lot of people make money, and that's their main goal, is to have income off their land or property. And some people are interested in the silviculture and growing wood and managing their woodlot to grow value. It's like the stock market. So like here, I thinned out this section in here, and you can kind of see down there, and it had kind of a bunch of low grade hardwood pulp, and what I left was mostly young rock maple, and a lot of those nice high grade logs that we looked at were rock maple, and that's what pays more. So ideally, depending on what the landowner wants, you're going to take mature wood that's reached its maturity. It's not going to really gain any more growth or value. It's time to cut that. Damaged wood, poor quality wood, or species that really don't pay much. And so you're trying to manage for the best growing and best valued species on the property. And like I said, that changes with every different landowner. And so this process is, I work for a forester, so a forester will meet and talk to a landowner, and the landowner will agree or not agree. They will sign a contract. Then I come look at the job with the forester, and then we start it. And it all starts with the buncher. And then when you lay the wood down with the buncher, like right there, I've got some wood laid down through here. You can see the tops. Then the processor will come through and process it all. And the processor, when the processor is done with it, it's all like this, but in the woods. And before I leave you guys, I'll shut this camera off, GoPro, and wait for Wes to come out so you can see the forwarder. I don't have any videos of me operating today, but you got to see the truck a little with the loader. And I've showed you the processor and the buncher, and then we'll show you Wes. And hopefully this is informational and entertaining, and I hear Mrs. St. Pierre is a lot of fun, and you guys better be listening to her. And you know, if you're interested in logging, you should certainly see what kind of schooling you can get after you're done with high school. So why don't you guys hang on, I'll be back. You can see a little side view of the truck here. See what I'm talking about with the two tiers, front and back, and how he loads the truck. Alright, I'm back for a second here. I thought I'd show you this too now that the disc is slowed down. But these are the teeth. They're about 2.5 inches. And they cut real good. I'll show you the joysticks too. Alright, I shut the engine off, but here are the joysticks. On the processor has basically the same joystick. It looks like this, but it has more buttons. And these toggles are for one set of the grab arms out there, and then the other side has the same thing. And then this little trigger is what each side has one, and it tilts the head side to side. Wes is finishing up loading his buggy here, and we'll watch him come out. Watch him unload a little bit, and then I'll end the video. Now the forwarder, as you can see, that's the forwarder. That's a log set 8F GT. It's got 8 tires, 4 in the front, 4 in the back. Up on some of this wood here, and we'll watch them unload. We'll get over here a little bit. My hands are getting cold. Logs. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and you learned a little something. There's no way I can kind of cover everything, but I told Mrs. St. Pierre I'd do a video for you guys, so hopefully you guys enjoy it and learn something. If you guys have any questions, put some comments in there. I'll answer them for you guys. We'll catch you later.